Meet Henry, a 1920s composition doll that measures 32 inches tall, the size of a small child. Henry's sleep eyes hypnotically gaze towards you as if they shelter a past beset by problems. He is quite disfigured, his body in ruin, enveloped with wreck. Holes mighty in miniature puncture his little head. Cracks and crazing traverse his maimed and mangled limbs. But is it Henry that suffers from the wounds and abuse from the days of foregone? Or is it the child's plaything that vessels Henry's spirit? Once upon a time, Henry's home was the most haunted city in America, New Orleans. His former keeper fastened and displayed him in a frontal window like a decorative accessory, distracting and captivating onlookers. Some would be uncomfortable with his lasting presence, while others were fascinated by him and presented him with a wave or a smile. If Henry was unwillingly removed from the window, he would throw a tantrum much like a child and have outbursts of anger and frustration. Sounds of movement from small shuffling feet would be heard throughout the home. Small personal items would disappear, then reappear days later. Lights and appliances would fail to function properly. An overwhelming amount of activity began to burden a strong emotional effect on his keeper, so she made the ultimate decision to part with Henry. "If he gets out of hand, place his vessel inside a salt circle," was written on a creased, weathered piece of paper included in the shipment to the new owner. Immediately after Henry's arrival, his new keepers felt a general feeling of unease. Even their pets would act unusual and alerted. Supposedly during Henry's travel to his new destination, he was damaged during shipment. His elastic band had snapped, disjoining his limbs, completely dismembering his right arm. The owners thought nothing of it at the time, given his already poor condition due to his age. The new owners would feel an unusual movement. Oftentimes they would feel a gentle tug or an unexplained touch, similar to a stubborn nudge of a child. On numerous occasions, they claimed to have smelled an unpleasant odor, resembling the smell of ammonia or urine. Like the previous owner, they too heard the sound of steps and strange whispers. It was obvious what needed to be done. Henry's new keepers had to doctor his fresh wounds. Henry's arms were restrung, and his rubber band was replaced that pulled his arms together. Apparently, Henry was grateful for the aid, and his supposable hauntings decreased. Henry was never presented in the window of the new owners. Instead, he sat on a shelf with other antique dolls, being the owners were avid collectors. Henry sat there being comfortable with his surroundings until the owners had to unexpectedly move. He was startlingly thrown into a shipping box. Surprisingly, he was left behind. Henry was later found by professional cleaners, who too felt the uneasiness around him. His current owners have him displayed with several odd collectibles of considerable age. No other unusual hauntings from Henry have been reported.